with hockey, it's you got your own team.
Yeah.
And then when your team inevitably loses, it's whichever Canadian team still has a shot.
Yeah.
And then past that, it's like, whatever, it's hockey. I'll cheer for whoever.
Unless they're Toronto, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean,
well, on this end of the country,
everyone has a line.
On the other end of the country, well, everywhere east of Vancouver, it's any Canadian team except Vancouver.
Right.
Because the rest of the country is jerks.
Yeah. Is it like BC versus the rest of Canada?
Well,
is that like a thing?
The
Vancouver
Canucks are positioned as the heel of the league.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Well, and as someone who has lived across Canada, like far and wide, there's a certain amount of kinship in the prairies from Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba.
Yeah.
And BC.
Sorry, what was that third one? I don't remember that one.
Manitoba?
Yeah. Yeah.
BC has a very distinct character
Manitoba.
separate from the three of those. So particularly the further you go out east, they're just like, and those weird hippies out there, whatever. Who
Yeah,
cares?
part of it I think is also just because when the Canucks are playing, they start at 7 p.m. local time, which is like 10 p.m. in Toronto.
That too.
And so, like, once all the Eastern teams have played their games, everybody is just like, oh, Vancouver's playing, whatever, time for bed.
Yep.
It's funny though because if a Canadian team, is it the other way? I can't remember. If an American team doesn't make it to the playoffs, then the U.S. sports stations are like, well, there's our viewership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
It looks like it's just the Canadians watching.
well, time for football.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already talking about that for like the World Cup because the U.S. didn't qualify, and now it's just like, now no one from the U.S. is gonna bother watching.
Why
the
did
World
we
Cup.
spend all the money on these World Cup rights?
I'm at the opposite end of that because
Can I trade with you? Because
Absolutely.
Ken has landed and his arrival is imminent.
Yep.
So.
Oh, you're actually driving right now. I get it.
Alex
I see.
Alex had to hit the cam. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got this one.
Okay,
I'm
you
a
can have the
contractor
chair.
at EA.
All right, cool.
So I'm at the opposite end of that because I'm a contractor at EA, and when the World Cup happens, the World Cup happens in our building a lot.
Right.
They
Yeah.
literally just put up TVs everywhere, all around the entire campus.
Oh
and
yeah,
have
you
an
make that game.
And we have an internal feed that we're just encouraged to throw on our second monitors all the time.
You just jam and honk.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Is the end.
Nice.
So,
Long
like,
times.
one person in chat is like, the Canucks are not disliked in Eastern Canada. When the Canucks had their cup run, the coverage of the Canucks everywhere was not favorable.
No.
I have
And, like, Toronto was cheering for Boston. Like,
I
come
mean,
on.
that's
Well,
Toronto.
that's a low. That's a low. You don't
Yeah,
want
but like I've met Canucks fans on the East Coast.
Oh,
and
they
Maritimes,
exist.
for sure.
Yeah.
They're just few and far between.
Yeah.